Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Lashley podcast. And today we have Mr. Rico Relz, Terrell Crawford here for us. Super excited about this. We're going to talk about some really cool stuff. Our title today is Get Out of the Ghetto. And what we mean by that is obviously how you're raised as a child, or what you go through when you're younger, growing up, or through your teen years. Maybe you get in trouble, you have a drug problem, whatever, right? You can make the conscious decision to get out of the ghetto or get out of the hard part. And Rico has a super amazing story about how you turned your life around, and we're gonna get into that and just kind of talking about how to make that choice to we say get out of the ghetto, baby. To change your life. You don't have, just because something bad happens, you don't have to follow that path. You can change it. And also Rico, what was like your video called too? The one viral?
They call it the Walmart dad video, the Walmart viral video. Every time I get somewhere and I get in conversation with regular people, they go, oh wait, I know you from somewhere. You're the Walmart dad. I'm like, yeah, just call me Rico. We're normal people. I don't start the conversation like, hey, how you doing? My name's Trevor. I'm the Walmart dad. It makes you sound
the Walmart dad.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. We kind of go with it. Long story short, daughter had an attitude like anybody else's child. Took her outside, sat her on the car, let her cool down, had a great time. People judged up and down, and that's kind of where the story started from getting out of the ghetto. Like people would judge you based on parentship. Some people, well, actually we're all parents, so you'll go to this thing when people tell you how to raise your child, and it is kind of where you're from, how you're raised, and you put that into your children. So,
right. Yeah, I love it. Super awesome. So you just want to go ahead and let's hear your story.
I mean, basically, I'm growing up in Mansfield. Growing up in Mansfield, we
You hold up, like it's.
You got it.
You got it. There we go. That's way better. That's why I put these on.
Yeah, get some microphones. I'm gonna get you some more.
Yeah, sorry. That doesn't feel like
you're
very
fine.
good.
Yeah. We have many stories to tell from Mansfield. Mansfield is a great city. It always has been. Every state, every city has a story to tell. Good parts, bad parts. Unfortunately, I grew up in some of the bad parts. Growing up with the multicultural family, we've been through many experiences. We've had many situations to where we'll never tell these stories to our children. Making the right decisions was always what I wanted to do as a child. But I will say, being left astray with really no solid male figure, I don't really try to fault my dad for too many mistakes, but some of those were his. I chose as a young man to not blame him for those things because I didn't want that to transpire in my adult life. So I made all the wrong decisions. To me, they were right because they were fun. I'm like, I'm gonna hang out with my friends. We're not supposed to be here. Not supposed to do this. Not supposed to have this in my bag. But I'm gonna do it. There's no one to really tell me no. And everybody that really cared about me kind of motivated me to do it the safe way, but never motivated me to do it the right way. Not to do it. So I found myself, even when I have these stories with some of the younger individuals, the young homies we call them, because they call you OG, they call you they call you these things like, oh shit, it's happening. It's like,
no, you're fine.
They're looking at me like, oh, I'm like, I don't want to be that idol. Let me tell you what someone should have told me. At this point, when we're having that conversation with the younger homie, we're telling them like, sorry to bitch you. I'm glad I'm not the one that influenced you, but let me be the one to tell you. Since you know what you're doing, you know what's wrong. There's many opportunities to do it right. If you have a skill to sell anything, you can sell anything. So why choose to do things that really, literally are going to harm other individuals? I don't knock any hustler. I've been that person getting up. I've been the person looked upon with the frown, like, why are you here? We know what you do, we know what you're about, and I'm still trying to be great. In my soul, I'm like, I'm trying to be right from being wrong. I literally am trying to use every wrong that I've done, because in this way, we have accumulated a lot of assets. We have, some of the best Fortune 500 owners to tell you, they learn greater from the hustlers out here than they do anybody in college.
Absolutely.
Because they know the risk, they know the hustles, and growing up in individual environments where you can actually go through some of these things people only see on movies. Some of my lifestyle has been because of me. It wasn't just because wrong place, wrong time. I chose to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Now, choosing that, did you say your parents were?
I would say
in that? What got you down that path?
What got me down that path is just seeing people have stuff you think you deserve. You are motivated by your environment. Matt come to school, 16 years old. He's in my class. He sit right next to me every day. Bro, how the hell did you buy a brand new car with 2020s? You know, like, I want to know. Honestly, this is how I did it. And you're like, it's easy. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
If you can do it, you'll get 2 every time.
Yeah.
1 + 1 is 2. If I give you this, tell you to do that, bring it back to me, you'll have this every single time.
Right.
I've said it in the song. You know, you can keep this, bring me back 300, keep 100, come back and do that until you get 300, start over. And it's a reoccurring recipe we all know.
Right.
In my generation, my group of people, we made this pact to try to not replicate it so much. And it's hard because even telling the story plants the seed. No matter what the goal of the story is, negative or positive, you're still planting the seed of like, you can do it this way. But there's many options.
Right.
What was the one thing, right? So like growing up, at what point did you realize that I need to make a change, or I don't want to do this anymore? Like, what led you to that you would call like your breaking point or boiling point or whatever?
It was.
What's that?
Rock bottom.
Some people call it rock
Yeah,
bottom.
it was really
bottom.
being
Rock
forced
bottom.
with choosing to be friends with family, to be friends with friends, to continue to like I went through it to where I lost my stepfather, and you know, we were going through things legally with the department because of him, but we are a family, so we stand behind each other. That kind of let me know. Like I remember telling my mom when I turned 18, I'll stop. Because at that point in my life, I looked at my mom who cared about everything I was doing, who didn't really try to stop everything I was doing. I just kind of told her, like, at this point, I'm not afraid because I'm a kid. I'll be tried as a kid. You know, you get these stupid things, even as a young homie, I'll be cool. As a big homie, so you take it, man. You'll be cool. You ain't even 18 yet. And you believe that. Because in some states, it's really cool. But some states will hold you till you're 18. Oh, you happy birthday. Now you're going to overhear
You say if you get in trouble, right?
Yeah, you get in trouble.
Right,
like,
right.
you're just not afraid to get in trouble. So as a kid with that mentality of that street mentality, that's what really gives you no fear. You're like, I'm still a kid. The police know I'm a kid.
So it's like ingrained. It's like ingrained into as a kid, and it stays there.
It's easy to motivate the youth in everything you see around the world. Even as us, as trainers, as fighters, owners, as fathers, we motivate the youth because they see us doing things they want to do. So we utilize our greatness and make sure we do it. Some people utilize their negative, and it does motivate people. Your environment is who you are. I don't take anything from any hustler. Anybody still doing it, I really pray for them. I really like, hey, you gonna do it, man? I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna just make sure you're safe. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna tell nothing. It's just because I've been there. And I wanted somebody to just be like, hey, just be safe. Can't tell you nothing different. Your mom gonna tell you I love you. Be in the house. I'm like, all right, I'll try.
Yeah. What's one advice that you give? Not even, it doesn't have to be to like maybe the hustler or the kid like on the street. You know that you've been there, and you know it's not a good path, obviously, right?
It's not.
But not even just from them, but to even let's say it all kind of go together. Like the kid that grows up in the home where you know their parents are obese, or maybe they have money problems. And they just see they're getting raised in an environment where it's like they're prone to either going to have, you know, I have to be obese because my parents were obese, or I have to be broke because my parents were broke, or I have, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. It's right. We say it all the time, man. Your choices about you are based on you. Like I said in the beginning, I don't try to use my father's absence as an excuse to why I'm so negative, because he wasn't always absent. There's just things in life as a father, as I thought as a child, because I wasn't a father yet, you should do as a father to your son to prepare him to be a man.
right.
I tell everyone, you can't use that as an excuse for you to choose to fail. If you fail by any means necessary, whether it's your fault or just by chance, it is your choice to make it better. If you feel like you have a problem health-wise, weight-wise, it's only you who can do it. You can pay the best trainer in the world. They give you the best advice. They give you the best training. Do you believe it enough to actually do it? My conversations in these last 2 weeks in my personal life have been based on you can do anything you want to do. You cannot tell I'm too old, it's too late. I'm like, no.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't.
Yeah.
I've been, March 10th, 2020 is when it was the last time I was in my actual massage office due to the whole pandemic, whatever.
Yeah, all that stuff.
March 10th, 2022 was the last day I was in a job I never wanted to be in, to go back to my massage office. And I chose to make steps in that time between to focus on how I am as a person, what I've done, how I've grown, and to, show that. I've told my son, my son's like, Dad, why'd you go pick up a job? Just to show you that sometimes you just got to go do things.
Right.
I can't sit here and be complaining and be, having my lifestyle going down and not take ownership for it. Whether it takes someone bringing that to my life, whether it takes me just sucking it up and doing it. I have to change. If I don't, I'm the reason I'm stuck where I'm at.
Yeah, and one thing you're saying a lot too is taking responsibility for your own actions at all.
Got to.
You know, all
I messed up my life, and I did the choices I did to give me the the reputation that I have, and I am responsible for shedding all that and doing forward.
Right, because you could have been like, oh, it's my dad's fault or it's my uncle's fault or.
Well, my question: what was your
talking to the you can't hear you.
What was your dad's dad like? Did your dad repeat what his father did?
I would say my biological father, my grandfather, is, from what I've always known, a great man. My stepfather, who I was predominantly raised by, his father was just absent. So both my parents, my mother and my father, kind of had a vendetta against their own parents. That they literally did feed into us as children. We knew my grandmother gave my mama for adoption. We knew my father never knew his father. Also, my real father just chose to be a bully. I pretty much explain it like that.
Just say a bully?
A bully. Just like going out and living his life, and I got kids, I give them, I pick them up, still kick it. But he was an adult. There's nothing I can tell what I think you should do as a father if I'm a child. I totally flip that with my kids. My kids have an open floor platform. We have these discussions. Let me know what you feel like I'm doing as a father, right, wrong, whatever you think. Vice versa. We'll have the conversation. We'll move along. If you can't tell me how you feel and I can't accept that, I can't really tell you I accept, respect, and love you. Vice versa. Just let me be me. Let me get off my chest. I don't mean it personally, but personally, this is how I feel. Let's talk about why we feel that. You know, somebody in my relationship too, I have to learn that being a man with a woman, father versus mother. You guys aren't the best at talking because of some of the stuff we go through, and we're taught not to show or to speak or be weak because we have to be protective and be strong and be leaders. But I tell my boys, if you're gonna cry, you're gonna cry. Somebody gonna make fun of you, punch me in the eye. Not really like that, but
I like that.
Defend yourself, I'm still a tough man, but the toughest man in the world can show he's weak. The lion roars because he has a thorn. He's not gonna let you touch him though because he's hurt. He will strike and bite. It takes the softest, grounding, neutral, understanding, presence, energy to get him to flip the paw to pull it out. And he's gonna scream like, oh, God Almighty. He's gonna roar, and then he's gonna be like, oh, well, thank you. My bad. And thank you for not judging me for going through something painful that I didn't realize I needed help with. Point blank.
Now, is it hard? Any of your family still living that lifestyle, like your lifestyle?
I would say yes and no. I would say yes and no because I choose not to know. Like mentally, I'm not stupid. Right. Mentally, I'm not stupid enough to know to care about it because we're all adults. And I tell anybody I come into contact with, I don't need to know your business if it doesn't pertain to me. All I do is I pray for you. I'm about it. I'm from it. I can smell it on you. At the end of the day, you know who you are and what you choose to be. I just pray for you when you walk outside in the world that everything you're after, you get it how you're supposed to get it. And anything against you is never going to be with you. That's why it's there. I'm a firm believer in all of that mess. So I try not to focus on who's doing what and just pray that people can find their way doing it really how they need to.
That's awesome.
The reason I asked you that question when you stopped in the other day and we decided we were going to do this, we were talking about how some of these things are like passed down generation to generation, and Kylie said it almost becomes like genetic.
It is.
Almost.
It really is from whatever you believe in, man, genetics, science, religion, energy, it's all true. Because if I teach it, you know it. If I seen it, I know it. If I hear it, I know it.
Kids do what they see.
Yeah.
Now
and I tell people this even like in here and what we do with martial arts. They're the best ones. You teach them young, they go up and do it. They're so they only know what they know. So why can't we show our children what we really want them to know? And they're going to encounter things we don't have any control of. That's when we act and go, stop. That's when we don't touch that because it's hot. I know you didn't know, now you burned, but I'm sorry, I missed that opportunity. I wasn't thinking to teach you before. Or, hey, that's why I told you, don't touch that because it's hot. Whatever the hot is, that's why we don't touch it.
So, do you feel like, this is how I feel, do you feel like you broke a cycle?
Almost? I do, and some, and I will admit that I've probably created some as well, just being inexperienced. Before the Walmart thing, I have, as any parent, I have yelled when I probably shouldn't, but my natural reaction of frustration of not knowing what to do, my body reacted in just an abrupt reaction. That causes reaction in your child. You will see the cry, the whatever it is. I have done that because really that's all I knew. In my eyes, if I don't hit my child, I'm doing better than my mom and dad. But my voice is hitting me. It took my wife telling me that. She sat me down after one time I scolded the heck out of my kids. She came in the room, you know this, real quiet. And she was like, hear me out. When you hear that from your wife, you are in trouble. Just accept it. She's not leaving you. She's actually just wanting you to know this. She says, hear me out. I get it. And I agree with everything you said. I just don't agree with how you said it. In my eyes, I'm like, what do you mean? My mom, my dad wouldn't have said anything. I just would have been in the bed somewhere with my head, and I don't know what's going on. But I got it.
But you thought you were doing better than
I
your
thought I was
parents, and
breaking
your
the
wife
cycle.
said, no, you can do better than that.
Yeah, I was breaking the cycle, being complimented but then reprimanded because I did create another cycle. It really enough again, and I did it again after that. Then I had to realize, like, oh crap, that's what she meant. Even to the point, I get to this point to where I still have to stop myself because it's still embedded in me. Like I have a voice.
Parenting and stuff's changed so much. I mean, same thing. Like, obviously, spanked, right?
Yeah.
We were kids. Spanked
all day.
Spanked.
I get it.
I was spanked, and actually, my wife and I are completely opposite. We're completely against it now.
That's where the Walmart video got me in trouble, man, because people didn't understand where I was coming from.
Right.
I have popped the butt. I prefer not to.
Right. Yeah. The same way, and it's like, there's so much more to disciplining a child and stuff like that, just besides smacking or spanking them or smacking them and saying, hey, don't do this, like just like you said. And I think it's evolving, which is actually a good thing.
It is.
Because these, like, everybody here in this room was spanked as a child, and that was probably just the norm back then, right?
Really, I tell my mom, I never faulted my mom for how she was. I just tell her some things I didn't agree with. I chose to just wait till I could change them. When I have a voice, I used it. When I could change things I don't like, that's when I know it's okay to do. It's impossible to. And I will say that I mention this all the time. Some kids need to butt whoop because that's just all they got. But in my world, because I'm a fighter and trainer, I'm like, just bring them to the gym. We'll make them the best. I tell my son not too long ago. I told him, don't be a bully because I don't like bullies. He had a little moment to where it wasn't a bully-ish moment, but it was kind of labeled bully. I'm like, well, since you want to be a bully, I'll bring you in the gym and I'll teach you what a bully does. Because at the end of the day, if you want to do something I don't, rather than really reprimand you, I'll just make you the most healthiest fit person in the world. You're going to work out and hate yourself and be the most fit person in the world. And I mean hate yourself in a way that you're going to be in pain physically because you're moving around and utilizing that energy into something positive. Because I'll be damned if my kid's the bully and I don't like bullies.
Oh, absolutely.
So why not? You're not even in trouble. Just come in the gym. Kick this bag, punch this bag, get in there and spar, do some lift, do something for yourself. And then he actually likes it. Backfired on me. I'm like, he likes it. Like, this is ridiculous.
Way worse thing.
They could. That's all I'm like, I'm mad about something good and happy, but that's just in and out. There you go.
But it comes into the next part, right? Obviously, overcoming all that and choosing to accept responsibility and get away, get out of the ghetto if we want to say it. But then the next thing that helps is having that outlet.
True.
Right.
True.
Obviously, I know rap. You can go rap, tattoo, music,
jiu-jitsu,
fight,
kickboxing,
right? Yeah.
dude.
And that was your outlet to deal with everything
Yes,
you're
sir.
struggling with to make that the choice to be different, to break the cycle.
I would say fighting actually was the main reason I chose to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
I will say your father, my coach, the marketing express soul, Matt Trukovich, all those JP Jarodowski, the original people I started with, they gave me a reason to stay out of trouble because outside of that building, I represented a branch of them.
Right.
I couldn't be where I was always at. And then people trust you. I've been a kickboxer since I was 10 years old. But even raised by my uncle, he's like, don't go out there and just tell everybody kickboxing. People try to fight you. If you ain't ready to fight, you'll know if you can fight then. So it was kind of like, then I was like, oh, snap. But then I didn't want people just to think, I'll just think I'm a big old bad because then they're going to try me. I want to be respectful, but if I had to be disrespectful, quote unquote, could I do that? Could I bite that bullet and do it? But that also gave me a reason to check my anger. Mad in school, mad at home, like, I tell everybody, go put my face on the bag if you're mad at me and you can beat me all day. Or really, because I'm a fighter, we'll go in the cage and you want to spar, you can hit me physically because that's what I'm about. I'd rather you get your problem out because especially men don't really want to solve an issue till they put their hands on each other. May not be a death-to-death fight, but some boys, brothers, I'm gonna punch you because you're my brother. We're gonna fight. Mom and dad split us up. Even brothers and sisters. I had sisters growing up. We fought. It's the human nature to just get this aggression out. But when you have a really solid outlet, lifting weights, running, swimming, basketball, cardio, football, basketball, wrestling, all that. You're physically using all that energy into something that really makes you great. Right.
Well, plus if you love what you're doing and you're in trouble or in jail, you can't do that. You can't play football, can't spar.
None of that, man.
Yeah.
My big brother right before he got in trouble, just really like the first time or second time, he was going to go try out for an NFL team. Because he was just like, I'm going to go try it. I'm like, why? Is it just want to play? I'm tired of this and the mess. One good celebration night, one bad decision, one wrong picture. 2 years of your life go. You know, 2 years is a lot. You know, in the last 2 years, I accomplished up and down and then way back up. It'll happen again in 5 more years. But 2 years of just sitting somewhere where I can do nothing but just physically, you can take care of yourself in there. Like, I have a sister that's incarcerated. She's never been in trouble while she's been in there. She's always taken every opportunity to educate herself. She's made plenty of accomplishments in there, unfortunately, for something that's really wrong, but she took her negative and literally has utilized it so much to where she's getting rewarded for being there.
Right. Well, obviously, like people can change too.
Yeah,
Whatever. Just like
it's your choice. Like you said right now, it's your choice to stay or play.
You know, and like the one thing you were saying, I think it's super important for people to know like what they're trying to get out of it. You can see something and want to make a change in your life, but if you just try to avoid those things, like you're gonna go right back to it. You literally have to find something that in place of. You know, you have to take that bad choice or that you have to take that out. And find something to replace it with.
You got extra horsepower, you might as well put it to the wheels and just get on and go. Because it's just take the extra mile and go. If you really want something, I told my youngest children this morning, I made them say their affirmations, and I said, when you want something, say it, write it down, believe it, see it, because you want it. I can't give it to you. Even if I did, what are you gonna do with it? I give it to you. Oh, I got it now. Case in point, I bought a PC, built it, gaming for my podcast, sat in the box for a year. Literally a year. So when I opened up, my wife said, "When did you buy that?" I'm like, a year ago. But it was in preparation of like everything. I'm a puzzle person. If I give you a 100-piece puzzle and there's only 98, when you put it together, there's 2 holes missing. All I see is the 2 holes. I don't read it. The picture is beautiful, but these 2 holes right here, my OCD is like, it's not complete. It's not a 100-piece puzzle. So until I have 100 pieces, I will not even begin to put the puzzle together. I'm that person that counts every piece in the beginning. It's a busybody thing. Yeah. I have a lot of energy, ADHD, whatever they want to label it as. I just want to, let me do it my way. Okay, I'm ready. You can speed all you want to. Beeline, speed it. I like the scenery. I like the drive. I like the longevity because it gives me time to think. Yeah, I like to see it. Process. And I've learned in my life that that's okay for me because I always finish my list. It's just, I'm just like, this has to go to 4. This 4 has to go to 6. 6 actually has to go to 1 now. Because life changes tomorrow, today, in a few minutes. We don't know. And as parents, kids sick, gotta go, gotta take a day off. Jobs that reprimanded you for that. Like sometimes I can't, that energy I need back in me. When I care about me, I need you to care about me as well so I know that we can care about each other. Because if it was you, hey, Chris, take a day off. Matt, take a day off. Nia, take a day off. I got you. If I can get you, I got you. Because I can relate to you. I have a kid. I have a life. I have a soul. I have emotions. Check yours. I got you. Explain it to me like that and understand. Like even when we come in the gym, if you're all mad and angry, you're punching people extra hard. Hey dude, you okay? What did I do to you? Like I'm just mad. I'm like, okay, now I know that I'm the type of person that can accept that. Right. Like, hey, just chill out, he's just angry. Just leave him alone. It's not personal, but if you're not that type of caliber, don't roll with him. Don't spar with him. Because right now, that individual's in a state of mind where he or she, they need that release. You can't help them through that process, especially in this environment, because it is healthy to come in here and punch each other. We get judged about it, but that's what we're all. We're fighters. We're strangle one another. That's what we do. Yes, we do. We just choke each other until we love each other. That's what it's our release. And then we get up, we love each other, we're happy. We've literally choked each other out, literally unconscious. Wake up, yeah, cool, because you don't remember. But love you, thank you, but you learn. You're willing to learn.
The misconception about that is like that, and I think there's a big misconception about martial arts. People think you come in here just like it's willy-nilly, like balls to the wall. Like
just trying to kill one another all the time.
It's literally the exact opposite. Right. It literally, you get on the mat and it literally teaches you, I'm in this state, I'm mad, but I don't have to act this way.
True.
You know what I mean? There's such a misconception about that.
I tell everyone that I personally train, you can't fight mad. Once I register my opponent's mad, I already won. Because I'm thinking about what I need to do. You're just thinking about hitting, arming, going forward. You don't think about stop signs, stop lights, little age crossing.
He's out of control.
Yeah, he's out of control. That's it. Just like, the art of drifting. You're in control of being out of control. So once I know bigger, smaller, whatever, like I know my opponent's really mad, I already know what I'm going to do. Let him do whatever he wants to do, and I'll react off of that, or I'll control the direction of where he's going because he just wants to go one direction. And when I first started being a cage fighter, and now I'm a massage therapist, I teach some of my older clients. I'm like, "Oh, you're a cage fighter? Crazy UFC guys?" I'm like, "Not UFC, no disclaimer. You know, I'm not with them at all. I don't represent them at all." But like, sort of, though, MMA fights are that type of caliber. Not every fighter is psycho, but when their cage door closes, it's a whole different switch.
There's a light switch.
People, it's light and day. It's really just like when that cage door, you hear it locked behind you, like. Not even the jungle. It's just you, that guy, and one person watching you really close.
Yeah.
And you have to be that character that they really think everyone are. It is an art. But when we're training, I tell guys when we're training together, okay, but we're training. Don't hurt yourself because then you can't perform. Training, sparring, it goes at that level of moderation. Like, do you want to hurt me? Because I don't want to hurt you. I can, we can. But let's not. Because we can come back tomorrow and work on more stuff. You know, accept where you're weak at, especially in jiu-jitsu. I tell some of the guys, like, hey, go with some upper belts because you're not going to learn. Like, there's only so much I can teach you at mine and lower, but you learn really strength and positioning and stamina from the people who are teaching you. Let them lead you. Don't be afraid to be led. You're lost. Ask for directions.
So we kind of ended up, wrapping up here. What's what's one advice or something that you've learned from your experiences, someone taught you, whatever? Rex, I like to learn at least one thing from everybody. So what's one thing you'd share with everybody, like the most important thing that you've learned, experienced, like whatever, to help someone be successful?
I would say personally for me is don't stop second guessing your gut. I would say in the last 6 months, I've literally stopped myself from second guessing my gut. Whatever that is, if you're thinking about,
what do you mean?
If you're thinking about changing or choosing this option, do it. If it's not harming you, especially if it's helping you, moving you forward, you're like, I think I should do this, do it. Because that is your alignment, finally balanced, and it's telling you we have centered on an option. Then you're like, but it might, I'm just going to do this. Everyone does it. Everyone does it.
But that gut is like that you said, it really knows what you want.
It really does, because when your body does a reaction you can't control, it's meant to happen. Goosebumps. You love something, you're in tune. Your energy is focusing on the muscles that's erecting your hair. Massage therapist is called an erector pili. Energy moves everything. So those muscles are being actuated by a sense that you feel, and it's giving an outward projection. I can't push this enough that if you really want something, you have to make the decision to do the change. Stop second guessing if you should do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. And I can't say who has that slogan because I don't represent them as well, but that's the best slogan.
Just do it. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with you. Yeah.
Because if you want, you're responsible for everything, up or down. The door's open. You can open it yourself. Walk through it. You never know what's on the other side. The light is there. I can't do that for myself and believe it, so I can expect you. So what I do is I do it for myself and I believe it, so you can see. Up, down, brown, green, with temperature cord. We get the same options. Rocket science, where kids once. Remember that. They didn't know anything.
But going back to when you changed your life around, would you say you made a decision, you committed to it,
Yes, sir.
and every day you built on that until where you are now?
I made the decision to accept that I
never
was
looked
wrong.
back.
Never. I couldn't. I remember telling my probation officer, I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm not going to be the one that gives you problems because I don't want this forever.
Yeah.
Every day.
And I think it's rare, but that's what's powerful and it's possible.
It was a shock in his face, like, oh man, I got someone that actually wants to change your life.
Right.
They really look, they're surprised. Like, you don't want to keep. I'm like, no, I didn't. I mean, yeah, it was cool, it was fun. I had an exit, but I got in trouble before the exit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oops, missed my exit. Guess I got that full on over and go around. Like, yeah, that's what it was. I missed my exit. And I had, if you ever been on 270, I go all the way around 270, just come back around and get on the exit. So there's nothing, you can't hide it. You can't deny it. You messed up. You hit a wall. What are you going to do? You can't go through it. If you can go through it, you're going to go through it. If not, back up, go around, take the time to detour, and accept your fault. The only way you get better or fix something is to notice that's broken. We need to fix it. Then you fix it. If you don't fix it, it's not fixed. There's no other way I can say it. Smart, educated, just smart aleck, just it is what it is. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah. Simple.
Simple.
Yeah.
Yet complicated.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rico, for coming in
Appreciate you,
today.
appreciate you having me, man.
What's your handles on your social
Everything
media?
is at Mr. Rico Relz. We got Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can find me just by typing in those. Rico Relz, RicoRelz, and I'll pop up. My life's pretty public, yet private, but public enough so you can find me on pretty much anything.
If you haven't seen it yet, the Walmart Dad video, super awesome video.
It's just on everywhere. Somebody's got
watch
it.
it.
It's on my Facebook page too. I can see it because one of my followers like, I can't ever find it. Can you put it there? I'm like, oh, it's right there.
It pops up. I see it once
Every
a year.
time.
pops
It
up.
always up. You're like, is this you, dude? I'm like, yeah, locks were a little shorter. That's me. Same mug. Yeah. I appreciate you, man. It's been a blessing, and I hope we continue to be blessed and grow together because it's an awesome family we got here at the gym. And I always tell people that, it's a family environment. People care. Really, if you don't care, speak up. They know you care. They'll start to care.
This was Lashley Podcast. Thank you for listening. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And remember, whatever you do in this life is going to echo in eternity, baby. Have a great rest of your week.
Say bye.
You say bye. You didn't say bye this time. That is awesome.